That's not right. Hold on. Eh. There we go. All right. Now we got it. All right. We need to put some fucking makeup on this face today. Good morning, guys. What's going on? Welcome through. I'm kind of late today, but that's all right. We're gonna get like, hello, hi, what's happening, baby? Yeah, guys, do me a favor. I just started tap the screen like live. I like it when people stop by. I normally do stream first thing in the morning. I haven't done the weird news in like a few days, so I'm gonna take some time off of battles and do like the weird news. I don't know. I dig it. I dig it. I like it when you guys stop by to see me. Makes my heart super happy. So I said it's been a busy weekend so far. I'd like it's about time you get online and give us something to do. Right. I was gonna say I need to give myself something to do. Look at that. See, it's not a filter. Don't mind me, y'all. I'm in a good mood. I said it's gonna be a good day. I hope everybody has a good day. I said I am rocking right along. I'm gonna get my face on. I'm gonna get my shit together at some point. Heading home. Sick my internet gets. Oh, well, do your thing, baby. I'll be here. I'll be here. Like I said, I do the weird news first thing in the morning, and I know it's not first thing in the morning, but I haven't been on here a couple days to do the weird news, so that's what I'm going to be on here for a little bit doing. That's what I'm going to be on here for a little bit doing. So you guys are always welcome to come back through and get where you're going and get safely to where you're going. I tell my daughter this because she'll be like, she's 25, right? So she'll be driving, and I can hear the text messages going off. I'm like, here's just wait till like I get nervous, man. I'll see people like on their live streams driving and shit, and they're checking the camera. They got people all up in the boxes and shit. I'm like, dude, I would end up. I can honestly say I've never streamed, and I've been a passenger in a car and live stream, but I've never live streamed and drive. For me, that would straight up like, and they kick me off right away. See, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Like it's weird. It's I don't know. I'm sure that they have like certain ways that they pick stuff up. Like you know what I mean when they're driving right. Like I'm like, just wait. Get where you're going. Get where you're going. Get where you're going. You know what I mean? Like just wait until you get where you're going. Nothing comes through in a text that is that important that you gotta like not. You know what I mean? Like not to deal with it right then. You know, just wait. Just wait. But no, I don't know. I've never driven and live streamed. Like I said, I see a lot of people do it. I just don't. I don't know. Like I said, I've never done it. I haven't driven in like a couple years now because I said I'm epileptic. So I got right up to the point. Hello, Trixo. What's going on? I got right up to the point. I told myself, I said, okay, it's gonna be 2 years. Once I get to 2 years without a seizure, I'll go back to driving. You know what I mean? Phone holder, and I was like, yeah, I was gonna say I think it picks up on stuff like if it can see the steering wheel or the seatbelt or yeah, I was gonna say I've seen some people like on here like doing it like there's certain ways I think people I think it depends on where you put it. I think there's automatic things that it detects for, you know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. But no, I've actually seen people I straight up I said there was a girl, right? On my last site, and I've told this story before, but it's still one of the dumbest things I think I've ever actually seen on a live stream. One of the dumbest things I've ever seen. So this chick, she's sitting in her car. It's the middle of the fucking day. I just happened to come across this live. I really didn't know her name. Her name was something like Bunny. She was like a bleach blonde chick, like one of those girls. Like looked like if Playboy was still a thing, she would have been like a playmate, you know. And she's sitting in her car one day, and this was on Meet Me, and everybody's like, "Dude, don't drive. What are you doing?" Like she's literally sitting in like a Burger King parking lot, like drinking out of a bottle of like Jack, and taking pills out of a bottle and taking them at the same time. And people are like, dude, what the fuck? She's, let's go on, guys. And like one of her, like she was like this, like, you know, when you get fucked up enough that you start to look like a pirate. That's where she was at. And it was like 2 p.m. It was like straight up like the middle of the day, like middle of the day. I think she was out in California. And then, so everybody's like watching because like what else can you do, like you're just sitting there. She starts the car, people are in the comments, they're screaming, don't drive, what are you doing, don't go anywhere, what are you doing, don't leave, don't hold on, just wait, go and get something to eat. And then you hear and you see like what appears to be her car possibly go over a curb. Hopefully it wasn't a body. I don't know. I assumed it was a curb at the time. I would like to, in my head, I hope that it's still a curb. I don't know. So for anybody that hasn't heard this story, this is like the rest of the story, right? So this chick, then all of a sudden you hear it crash, right? And everybody's like, oh, and the live stream like shuts down, right? So I didn't know what happened. Well, then later I seen that this chick was back on live, right? And I'm like, this chick is a fucking idiot. She's on live. You know, they put her in the police station, right? She's in the police station and it's just still fucked up, right? Still in the police station. You can tell she's in the police station. She goes back on live on Meet Me. And she's like, yeah, they said I got into an accident, but I don't know. And I'm like, you realize there's literally microphones in every room of a police station. Like, the fuck, this chick is literally sitting in the police station on live and admitting what she did. Like, you know what I mean? Like, good luck getting out of jail in like the next 5 years. And that's if it was just like a deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was just if it. So that's if it was a curb that she hit. But I said she definitely caused some damage, right? But I never really knew what happened. I don't think anybody ever really knew what happened. People just knew she wasn't online again after that. So they didn't know if it was maybe she had to go to court order rehab. Maybe it was this. Maybe, you know, nobody really knows because nobody really knew her like that well. At least that I know. Like, at least that I know. Like, I couldn't, like, hit up anybody and be like, is that chick okay? You know what I mean? But so, she ended up, like I said, I never knew what happened. I just knew I was in this room when it happened. And then years later, hi Ray, what's going on? Yeah, years later, right? And this just happened within this last year. I'm on TikTok and I'm scrolling, right? I'm like, and I love watching like the police body cam footages. Something to drink. I miss those days. Like, I like, hi from Venezuela. Hi Ghost, how are you? But so yeah, and by the way, guys, I am dual streaming, so if you hear me talking to somebody and they're not in your chat, I promise you I'm not losing my marbles. I'm just talking to the other chat. So welcome through, guys. I washed my hair this morning, so let's see what can condition this shit. So I'm scrolling, right, and I see this body cam footage, right, and I'm like, oh, okay. You know, it caught my eye because I'm like, well, that chick looks familiar. And it's just this chick who's got bleach blonde hair, right? And she's got this pink top on that's a button up. She's got the big fake, you know. And I'm like, that I feel like I know her. But, you know, like the girls that kind of look like Playboy Playmates, they kind of, I don't want to say they all look the same, but after a while they do kind of start to look the same. That's just me. That's just me. But so I'm like, wait a minute, that's a chick from Meet Me. That's that chick that got in the accident, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm watching this body cam footage, right? And she's like literally that same outfit, right? Had like pajama pants on, this pink button-up shirt. She gets out of the car, right? So now I'm seeing it from the other side. I'm seeing it from the police that showed up on scene after this car accident that she had on live. Like, why you do this on live? Hi, Summon, what's going on? But like, you do this on live, then you just give them like, you know, they can go and be like, oh, she said she was live streaming. Hi, McKinnon, what's going on? Yeah, no habla, man, no habla, only English. But so she gets out of the car, right, and it's obvious that she is so fucked up. Like, you don't have to be. Some people can hide it really well when they're like, you know, fucked up. She was fucked up. Like, I guarantee you, they put her in the drunk tank for like 24 hours, took a wreck out, and she was like, what do you mean I got into an accident? Like, I guarantee you she didn't remember shit about this, right? Good morning, Margarita. Hello. And so she got out of the car and she had her boobs hanging out the front of her shirt. She's so fucked up she didn't even realize it. She's standing there talking to the cop. You know, I hold my own really well. I don't. I get very affectionate when I drink. I want to hug everybody, and I want everybody to have fun. And like, I'm definitely not an angry drunk. I'm like one of those people where I'm like, come here, you need more hugs. Like, I don't know. They keep laughing at me on my pool team because like I have a weird habit of hugging my opponent. It's odd. I don't know why I do it. It's not intentional. It's just, you know. You're supposed to just shake their hand. I'm like, bring it in. Like, I don't know. Angry drunks are the worst. Yes, I agree. The angry drunks are definitely no fun to be around, and they're normally the ones that are most stubborn about it. I said, my mom, she goes out and drinks a lot, right? Like, they're Italian, so you know that's I don't know. Like Italians, it'll be like 2:00 in the afternoon, like full blood Italians, like 2:00 in the afternoon. They're like, oh, you gotta have wine with your lunch. Oh, thank you, Robert. I'm like, oh, what's going on? But yeah. So I seen the other side of it, and this chick, she actually hurt somebody. Like, I didn't know that because I said it cut out at the accident, but then she's sitting in, like I said, so I was like, that's that chick from Meet Me. Oh, shit. So I guarantee you she's probably still in jail. And that's if that was a curb that she hit, and it wasn't like a small child on her live stream. Like, what the fuck? Like, but yeah, so some people can handle it, and then other people, like, just stay home. If you're gonna get that fucked up, like, just wait until you get home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna get, if you're gonna get that level of fucked up, like, when you start to get that level of shitty, that, like, hey, listen, it really ain't that big of a thing. This chick had money. Just take an Uber. Come back and get your car. You can get as fucked up as you want. Take your Uber home. Come back, take an Uber, get your car. Like, it'll be all right. You know what I mean? But yeah, so this chick's definitely gonna be paying that for a while. Oh my God. I'm working a double today. Oh God. Margarita works at a coffee shop. I would need to like mainline that shit. Like, is there an IV drip, like an enema, like a number 8 is like a coffee enema? Let's do this shit. Let's do this shit. Right? Drink at home because they can't argue with anyone. Right. I was going to say they don't want to drink at home because they can't argue with. I believe that too. And we've all been around those people that like, you're like, dude, like, I go out and like I said, I socially drink. I'm not somebody, like, I don't know. I don't sit at home and drink. I see a lot of people that sit at home and drink. There ain't nothing wrong with that. If it comes to driving and getting a DUI or staying at home and drinking, to me, yeah, maybe stay home. You know what I mean? But we've all, oh God, like those people drive me nuts. I said, my mom, she'll go out and she gets good and shitty. She's retired. Yeah. I mean, my parents are actually in Atlantic City today. Like, I guarantee you, she's gonna be tore up. I promise that. But like you said, my dad doesn't drink, so he just drives, and you know what I mean. Like, they're as safe as possible as they can be with it, like all that good stuff. But yeah, like I'm like I hate that. Like, there's always those guys that go out and they have to be like all like, oh, you think you're cool? You think you're cool? I'm cooler than you are. Wait, what'd you say? Did you just look at me wrong? Like, dude, stop. Like, who has time for all that shit? I don't want to. When I drink, I want to be happy and like, giggly and dance and have fun and. More news. Oh, I was going to say, Michael, keep me posted, honey. Yeah, guys, tap the screen. Thank you, Margarita. I appreciate you. Like the live. I love it when people stop by. So he said, I haven't done the weird news in a couple days because I've been busy doing TikTok battles, So, guys, welcome third. Tap the screen, please. I appreciate it. I like it when people stop by to see me. But so, I'll talk about last night. Like I said, Margarita, Michael, you guys are some of my meet new people. They had, like I said, this weird news. I'll do influencer news, stuff like that. I've been talking about, kind of what's been going on with the chick from Meet Me that was like they're thinking on TikTok that she's a scammer, and it's like it's a whole mess. Like, I actually really feel bad for her because she's always been nice to me. I really have no reason to dislike her. You know what I mean? Like, she's got kind of big on TikTok. And then I've said this before. I think that as a live streamer, you need to protect your peace the best that you can. It can get very draining when you are dealing with large quantities of people. Especially when you are dealing with large quantities of people that are being negative. You do one-on-one, only with Margarita. Yeah. And so, but like, so, it can be very draining to be around people and then dealing with stupid people and dealing with creeps and dealing with, like, it can be very, very draining just as a human. So I think it's essential that if you're going to be like a regular like streamer, you got to take breaks. Like if you look at this, say like a job, right? Like, there's some people that are really hardcore for this shit. Cool. All right. I'm going to do it 8 hours a day. This is my full-time job. Okay. You do that. That's up to you. You know what I'm saying? That's up to you. But, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I think that you got to take your days off. Like, you got to take days off here and there because otherwise streamer burnout, like, it's just like work burnout. It's a real thing. And, you just need to, like, I have to. Because, like I said, some days just dealing with the dumb shit gets to be like, Aries, good morning. What's going on? Like, so they had like, there was another chick from Meet Me last night. She was the lawyer. Actually, I was gonna say Diamond. Margarita. I don't know if you remember Diamond. I met Diamond in person. She called me one time, right? And I hadn't talked to Diamond in a little bit because she, she's in England. I moved over here. Oh, do you? That's cool. But so, oh, that'll be a fun day, Aries. But so. When she came to Philadelphia, and this was like maybe like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years at this point. And she called me and she goes, "Hey, guess where I am?" I'm like, "I got a call on Snapchat one day." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" She's like, guess where I am? I said, are you not in England? Because that's where she is, at least where she was at the time. And she's like, I'm in Philly. And I was like, because I'm right by Philly. And I'm like, wait, you're in Philly? Wait, how long are you going to be here? And she's like, yeah, I flew in to meet my boyfriend, da 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 da. You know, like he lived over here. He lived in Baltimore. Made it before I left. Oh, there you go. See, I was going to say that. Bugsy's got new jammies and he just loves them. He won't let me take them off him. I'm like, I need to give your ass a bath. You're starting to stink. He's like, don't do my jammies. But, so I met the guy that was like the judge in this online court case last night. Like it was her boyfriend. He's still on Meet Me. He's one of their big streamers on there, all that stuff. And they actually did like this whole thing. I feel kind of bad too because they hyped this all up. And then they declared a mistrial because but it was like it was an online thing. It wasn't like an actual court case. It wasn't with the actual judge. It wasn't with actual lawyers. It was so, but my big thing is I think that the worst thing she can do is keep addressing it and draw more attention to it. Like that's just the way it is. Like that when you're a streamer and when you deal with large quantities of people, you're gonna have people that are mad at you and you're like, what did I do? Do we know each other? Huh? That wasn't me. The fuck? Dude, I don't know who you I've had people that have been straight up mad. I had no clue who they were. Like straight up, like just never. Hi, you're a local redhead. How are you? Like I've had people mad at me. I didn't even know who the fuck they were. But the more attention you give it, the more it makes it seem like you're guilty of something. If you know, like the more that you so like, I don't see how this could be beneficial by doing a court case now. Now they got a mistrial. Now they're gonna stage another court case, and then da 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 da. Like the you know. Recording. This is my favorite. Like I said, Bugsy will get up in my face and he's determined he's gonna kiss me and he's gonna lick my eyebrows off. I gotta like push him back. Like he's very aggressively affectionate. Very aggressively affectionate. Okay, so let's see. But besides that, like I don't think it's gonna make it any easier for her on TikTok to keep getting into it. Because anything that's said is just going to be held against her. You know what I mean? So sometimes you gotta take your losses and say, listen, people are going to do what they're going to do. They're going to think what they're going to think. That's all there is the fuck to it. Nothing I can do to fix it. So what good is defending myself against people's opinions going to do? Like if somebody's got like a straight up issue, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like bring it forward. It's cool. You know what I mean? We can have a conversation. But like, you know, what I think, like I said, I don't think that anybody should have to leave any site. Like, and that's just my opinion. This is very therapeutic for me. I assume that a lot of other people, this is like their social interaction, and this is like their therapy. And I think that everybody has their right to therapy. But so, all right. So, but at some point, like with so much negativity, becomes not therapeutic. And I said I do feel bad because every time we see it, she looks more run down, more run down, more run down. I really think the best thing she could do would be to take a couple days off, not address it, come back refreshed, and then just not talk about it. Eventually, people will get tired of having it not be acknowledged, and they'll stop. Like if people don't get the reaction on you that they want, then there's nothing really to fight about. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing to fight about. Like it just, you know, and I said it's a shitty situation. I do feel bad for her, you know what I mean? I understand both sides of it, but I like I said, I do feel bad for her. So it's, you know, she's always been nice to me. I don't have any other reason to not. You know what I'm saying? Like all right, so this was, I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but this was like, here you go, a gift for you. Thank you, Audie, I appreciate it. But like I said, I'm happy with screen depth. But so the Area 51, there, it's in the news again, like, because the vets, like I said, this was like a couple weeks ago, right? The vets went before Congress. Hello, Rashid. Aw, oh, that's cool. Oh, thank you, Aries. I appreciate that. Thank you, Audie. But so, there were a lot of vets around Area 51 back in like it was a certain period of time that kind of got Aaron Brockovich and they don't know how. Marcel, what's going on, guys? Make sure to go put, oh, thank you, Marcel. Make sure to go put a follow on Aries. I appreciate you guys like 100%. Like I said, everything goes right back into my small business and it's always very appreciated. Hello, Marcel. How are you doing? But yeah, so they're calling it the Area 51 invisible illness, which is they're thinking it's from long-term, prolonged radiation exposure, right? So something they don't know what it is because it's like top secret. They don't. So these people were working. We're talking about people that were working even on the surface during this point in time. Now have this invisible illness. Like I think as you get older, hello Rashid, what's going on? As you get older, things are going to start to break down anyway. But there were a lot of people that moved to that base, and then their families also got exposure from it. So what they're trying to do is if a veteran or if somebody that's in the military is wounded in the line of duty, they are entitled to different benefits than somebody who is not. So what the vets are trying to do, the Area 51 vets, they're trying to go to Congress and get them to, because technically, if it did come from Area 51, they were wounded in the line of duty. You see what I'm saying? So that's like they're trying to get the same benefits that other people that say like they're trying to get something else. Which like what like do it, give it to them, give it to them. Like Lord, like listen, like these people like they protected us from whatever the fuck is going on down there. Like I say, give it to them. That's me. And listen, like y'all can like we gave like $100 billion to the Ukraine that like came up missing. Like I'm just saying, I think that we can give our vets some extra benefits. I think we can afford that. Like if we can give and this is once again just my opinion. If we can if we got $100 billion to give another country laying around for a war that we have no part in, I think that we could take that money and instead rather because like I said, the country didn't really get it. That Ukrainian president. He took a lot of that shit. I'm sorry. Like he wanted to put on this front over here. I actually did some research into him. His wife was like buying Lamborghinis while he was in the U.S. talking about how he's a pauper, like all this shit. Something's fishy there. Something's very, very fishy there. Like very, very fishy there. But like, why not give that money to our vets that need it? That's me. Like that's my opinion. If then cut all these kickback. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how about we take some money away from politicians that are making all this X amount of money and give it to our vets, the people that went and defended us against other threats. And I do understand why when people say like, they're like, why do we give money to other countries or why do we stick our noses in war? When I get, like I said, I try to play devil's advocate in my head with it. Thank you, Arizona. I appreciate that with a lot of shit. So it's like, I get it because if this person conquers this country, then they can become bigger and then they'll have theirs. And then and then the next thing you know, they could come for the U.S. Like, how about we just deal with, but my personal opinion is like, let's deal with that when it comes to it. But like we as a country are in a deficit, a massive one. I don't think that we should give. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of issues going on here. Like we got a lot of issues. I focus on cardio. Oh, do you think? Hey, I know what's happening. But so I do think that they should be entitled to the benefits that wounded warriors get because I guarantee you, even the benefit that the wounded warriors get, that's still not enough. I guarantee you, it's still not enough when you're dealing with like this like health problems that came from your job and years of exposure that you didn't know about. Like, and then I was gonna say our government's fucked up too. Like they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we know about it, but we didn't think it would cause any major." Stop it! Stop it! Somebody needs to call Aaron Brockovich's ass, have her go down there taking samples of water and shit. Like, oh, I'm always happy to see you too. Yeah, temporary disability just ran out. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have a lot of issues. We have a lot of people in this country that could use that money. I guess, so what do you do now? You have to apply for long-term disability, don't you? So what do you go through? And here, like I said, I'm going through it now with my son because my son's autistic. Disability, literally, if you go and apply for disability, I can tell you this right now, it takes fucking years. It takes fucking years. So if you are somebody that's disabled that isn't, like I said, my son's autistic, he can't work. Like there's no way he can work. I did not know that he was able to get benefits before he turned 18. I thought it was only, I applied when he turned 18. I'm gonna try to go back to work 28th. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, and see, and then it's like, so if you go and you sue them or they don't do workman's comp, and there's a lot of jobs that don't even have disability. There's a lot of jobs that don't do long-term disability. There's a lot of jobs that don't give health benefits, that don't. So it's like people are just kind of fucked. Like they're fucked. If they get hurt, they're fucked. You know. But so my son is now getting ready to be 21 in October, and we have a court date in October to see about the ruling for the disability on whether he'll get it or not. And I'm like, this is insane. Like, this is insane. It's literally been almost 3 years. It's literally almost been 3 years. Like, but yet there's people that can get it just like that. And it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not his fault. This is just trying to make it set up so that way he can live. You know what I mean? And it's not like it's a crazy great amount of money that they're talking about. Like when they talk about people getting disability, my mom got it, and it depends. It depends on what, you know, you did beforehand. It depends. Like he doesn't have any work history because he's never worked. So he, you know, that also goes into it. But it, you know what I mean? Like it's just, it's a really shitty thing. Like that people like I said, he's special needs. He's been special needs his whole life. Like, you know what I mean? Like he can't work. Maybe like a part-time job at some point he can do, you know what I mean? But like when they talk about the people, oh, people just sit home and collect disability. I hate to tell you all this, but people on disability are not balling. On top of it, when you get disability, you get Medicare, right? People on Medicaid, which is different. People on Medicaid get zero copay, zero prescription, zero everything, right? Zero testing. When you get put on Medicare, you have a copays. You have, I mean, just like you have a copay for everything. Well, if you're only making, say, $800 a month, then your rent is, we'll just say on the low end, 500, right? That leaves you with 300 left for the month. Then you got to buy groceries. You got to pay your phone. You got to pay your cable. You got to pay this. You got to pay. So where does this extra money come from for copays? Like, you see what I'm saying? It just doesn't, okay, whatever. I'm getting all fire. Listen, I'm getting all feisty today because I said this is what we're going through in my normal life right now. And he's getting ready to be 21. It's not enough. It's not enough. No, it's not. $800 a month. Like, and then people are like, oh, these people just sit home and collect. No, it's literally $800. Like, you can't even get a place to rent for $800 a month right now. So how, like, you know what I mean? People act like they're just like throwing money. Like, come on. 260 a week. Yeah, I was gonna say there's there's, you know, different tiers, and I said a lot of it depends on your work history. People that don't have work history, the most that they're entitled to is between $800 and, on a high end, $1,400 a month. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Alora, good morning, honey. What's going on? Like, that's, but so it's fucked. It's a fucked system. Like, so, but then when you take and you're still giving this person copays, like, so I get billed, you know, like, that means like I'll get a bill for like $100, right? Like from him getting an X-ray or what, you know what I mean? Like the copays are shit too. So it's like I said, I've dealt with, I've been around a lot of other special needs parents, and I've had like a lot of conversations with them about, like, you know, yeah, it's supposed to be there to help you, but like I said, when you have Medicaid, you don't have any copays on anything. When they switch you over and you get disability, you have copays on everything. You go back to it. Well, if you're only making $800 a month, you know what I mean? But either way, these people are having to wait for over 3 years to get it. Do you realize what kind of debt you can get into in those 3 years? Now, what happens is they will take X amount of time, and if it's given to you, they will send you a check. So all of a sudden, you'll get a check for like $23,000. But for that 3 years, how are you supposed to survive? Being a special needs, oh yeah, I'm definitely, I've been a special needs mom for, God, 21 years. Like, I've done Special Olympics, I've done fundraisers for the Special Olympics, I've done, like, I'm very much, I said very, 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 very much a part of his life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything, I'm like, all right, like, he's verbal, and he's, like I said, he's trying to figure out, like, what he's able, you know what I mean? Like, we're working with a job placement, because I said he'll be able to work still. People assume people too that get disability don't work. A lot of them do work. A lot of them do work. You can earn up to $1,400 a month and still collect disability. So as long as he stays under that, but I said he can't work. I never knew. Nobody ever told me that when somebody gets diagnosed with that, they're qualified from the time of their diagnosis to receive Social Security. So I didn't know that. I did not know that. I thought he had to wait until he turned 18, which is what I waited for. You know what I mean? And I don't know what I'm going to do. That's what I'm saying. Is like it's like 3 years. Like thankfully, like I said, I have an income. Like my daughter lives here too. Like I'm okay. Like I said, I rent out the rooms in my house. Like I'm all right. Like I thankfully. But what if like stuff runs in families? So I said I have TRPS, which I mean technically qualifies me for it, but I'm like, you know what I mean? Like it's going to be a fight because my condition's so rare. Like I said, I can't work the way that I used to. Like I love working with customers. I love being busy and all that stuff. Now that I'm hurt, dude, I don't know. And that's the thing is, like I said, I've dealt with chronic illness from the time I was like 20 years old. You know what I mean? Like I osteoporosis and everything. Like my bones take different impacts. I was working before, and I was working in the toy shop, and I ended up going to the doctor because I was like in pain, right? Like more pain than normal. Like I've dealt with chronic pain my whole life. And like you can't use those two words talking to a doctor, especially if you have tattoos. Like it's just something I don't take anything for it. It's something I've just learned to kind of cope with. So like if I'm really having a bad day, I won't be on here. And protruding disc, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I've literally had 24 surgeries on my left foot alone. I've had two on my right. So. But that's been over a 20-year period. I'm trying to hold off, but as you get older, your body breaks down a little bit more and it's harder to. So at some point I might need to do that. But it's like, it's harder to prove. Like, I have genetic testing to back me up, which is great. I haven't gone and got his genetic testing done, right? I'm 90% sure, 99% sure that my son has it as well, right? But I didn't find out about mine until we started going for his disability process. If I report it and get him diagnosed with it, then guess what? That's change in diagnosis, which means I gotta wait another 2 years. So I'm trying to not change his diagnosis, even though it might be you know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't want to change his diagnosis, because then I have to start all over again. And it's a process, and it's a pain in the ass, and like, or hurt the way I was. Yeah, I bet. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I've learned to be resilient. You know what I'm saying? I've learned to just kind of roll with the punches, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I try to keep things going as like good as I can, and just keep trucking through. You know what I mean? But it's like, it is what it is. It ended my relationship, yeah, and it definitely can. Like I said, it's especially, and here's the thing with like chronic pain too that I think a lot of people don't get is like when you get the flu, right? Like, except the dog, right? Like when you get the flu, you know that in like a couple weeks you're gonna be back to feeling fine. Yeah, I feel like shit today. But guess what? In 2 weeks, I'm going to be good. Oh, thank you, Teddy, honey. I appreciate you. I'm going to be good. With chronic pain and chronic illness, that goes right off the table. Like, that just goes absolutely right off the table. There never will be a time where I don't have to deal with this. There will never be a day I don't have to deal with this. There will never be. So I just kind of got. That'll help, right? Oh gosh, say I think my next dog is actually going to be a service dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like 100%, I think my next dog is going to be a service dog, just because, like I said, I have epilepsy, which is why I haven't driven in 2 years. I said I was really like, okay, I'm not going to drive. I'll give it like 2 years. Once I hit my 2 year mark, then I'll go back to driving, just because I specifically don't want to hurt anybody. Everything's within, I live with people that drive. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good. Speaking of which, hi, Kiers. I'm just going to say that's my daughter right there that just came in. But, you know what I mean? Like, and then I got right up to my 2 year, and right before that, I was out one night, and I, like, the beach is fine. Is it? Okay, good, good, good. I was going to say, she went down to, everybody's here. So TikTok overhypes things once again. Mom and Papa are up in Atlantic City today. right? And they said that like the showboat's fine. Like, hi, Jana, what's going on? Like they said that, there's certain parts of it that are fine. I don't know. I keep seeing like, which by the way, guys, that is also in the weird news for today. Apparently Atlantic City and like Ocean City, Maryland are like underwater because of Hurricane Aaron. But then like I hear shit like that. So I don't know. TikTok might be hyping shit. It's fine. Oh, thank you, John, honey. I appreciate you. But oh yeah, I was gonna say this one was in the news the other day too. Now keep in mind I'm in Delaware, so I hear news about the tri-state. There was actually, and this one it got all the way down like my way, right? That was like, what the fuck? Like the day it happened, I was like, what the fuck is that smell? Like it was like outside. I'm like, fuck is that, right? And then I seen this in like the news the next day, right? But there was a steel factory up in Pennsylvania that ended up it exploded and it trapped people. They had to rescue people out of it. I think it was something like 20 some odd people that were trapped inside of it, but the bitch just exploded. And imagine all those people probably like what I'm saying, like are injured on like the line of duty. Like I said, if you're injured at work, you get workman's comp typically. But even workman's comp after a certain amount of time is only a fraction of what you make. Disability is only a fraction of what you make. Like everything is a fraction, so you have to readjust your life totally with it, and it sucks. And then knowing that it never, like, I understand why chronic illness and chronic pain come with a lot of like depression issues because it's a very defeating feeling to know that, you know, you're not going to feel better next week. You're not going to feel better next month. You're not going to feel better next year. You're probably going to have to deal with this every single day for the rest of your fucking life. And I've dealt with that for like 20 years. So I said, I just, on temporary, yeah, that's what I mean. Even just regular short term disability, you only get, it depends on where you work. But then there's other places like you figure most people. I had a friend whose mom was she worked her whole life as a waitress, right? Don't feel like, but well, there's more to a man than just a paycheck. You know what I mean? But she got cancer, and restaurants they didn't. You have to have over 50 employees of any chain to have health benefits. Like so that means that most like mom and pop restaurants, the employees there do not get health benefits. They can apply and get Medicaid, and that's. Yeah, oh no, and I know that. I believe that, honey. Believe me, I 100% believe that. But like, but like I said, so she, after all these years of like 30 plus years of working, never getting health insurance, like all this shit, like she got cancer. Guess what happened? When you only make like technically, because I've never worked as a waitress, so I don't know. But like I think you only make what like $3 an hour technically, but you mostly live off your tips. You still have to pay taxes on your tips, but that's you report how much you make and tips. But then when she got to the point where she couldn't work, that was it. She had to apply for disability, and then thankfully his stepdad worked. You know what I mean? So that got him through. Like having a kids and then getting him stuff. And now next thing I think, yeah, and that's what I said. Like with, it's just it's shitty. But yet we gave $100 billion to the Ukraine, and like 173 million of it went missing. Like what the fuck? Like how does that amount of money go missing? And so it's just, oh God, that's crazy. But yeah, but I was gonna say, doesn't FMLA cover up to like 2 years? It's been a while, so been school closed last 2 years and this year's I don't have. Yeah, and it's like I said, it sucks. It's depressing, man. It is. It's depressing. It's depressing, especially when you feel like there's no way I can ever change. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get why, you know. Oh, it ran out after 6 to 8 weeks. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, hi Laura, what's going on? See, I always thought like when I was younger. Well, I used to work for banks when I was younger, and they're like FMLA would be like up to 2 years, but that was working at banks. So like you know what I mean? That was like Bank of America, like the big ones that could afford to just be like, oh okay, if you need 2 years, you take 2 years, you know? Like, but it's like so you have people that like work in restaurants, so they work in these high demand jobs where they don't get they don't get like FMLA, they don't get all that stuff, and they get injured and they can't do anything besides hello the beast, hi, what's happening, how are you? But oh God, are you? See, like I said, I don't take anything. Like I'm yeah, and it's like tough because I said when you go to your doctor too, right, and you're like I'm in pain. I've literally had 24 surgeries, like on my left foot alone. Like, pain is something I will deal with every single day. If I'm really having that bad of a day, you guys are not going to see me on here. I promise you that. I'm not going to be on here crying for sympathy. I'm not going to be. Where are you from? I'm from Delaware. It's very boring here, so I left your. You are not going to catch me on here crying, you know, trying to get gifted because I'm in pain. Like, I will just shut down. I will put my head down on a canvas. I will work. It's actually what got me started painting because I was having all these surgeries and I just needed something to do. You know what I mean? I just needed something to do. But it was like when I was having my surgeries, I went to a place that didn't have like short term disability. Are you ice cream? Am I ice cream? Huh? Am I ice cream? Yes, milk chocolate chip. Okay. But yeah, so I said it's the whole thing is like, yeah, the whole thing's it's stupid. It's stupid. Because I need to eat. Now I'm good on all that, the beast. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so I like I said, I got a lot of stuff. Oh my gosh, I got a lot of stuff because I've been collecting stuff for like the last few days. There was a Texas Roadhouse brawl video where apparently like the whole thing. I love Texas Roadhouse. You're people, not ice cream. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, the beast is. Yeah, better get myself to the freezer section before I melt, cause I'm sugar. That was all dramatic. Okay. Are you trying to talk? No, I'm being successful. Yeah, I'm being successful with speaking. Yeah. Okay. So then the other one that I'd seen, like I said, I talked about autism a little bit. There is a dude, and I've talked about him on here a little bit. His name's Josh Block. He was like World of T-shirts guy, right? He, I don't like the way people like handle him. I don't like it. Like one little bit. He's a blatant alcoholic. Like straight up, he is a hardcore. I follow Josh Black. Yeah, he's a hardcore. Like I said, I've dealt a lot with autism, and I feel like a lot of people exploit him for money. Like I don't think that they even really like him. Yeah, they take advantage of him a lot, and then people they'll let him get this fucked up, and then they'll take him out in public, and yeah, for views, absolutely. And it's just why does that thing keep coming on and off? Do you guys see that? Or is that just me? It keeps like popping on and off. It's like 51, 52. What is it? How do I get it to stop popping on? Like, yeah, I don't like it. Like I said, I don't like it. I don't like it when like I don't know. I couldn't I like I don't know. I think people exploit him a lot, but I think that he's going to get just because you have a disability does not mean that you can't get in trouble with the law. He ended up that he got in trouble again because this just happened recently. There was one woman that he smacked when he was in public because she told him to put the fries in the bag, right? He got in trouble for that before, right? And then these people that are his handlers are obviously not doing their fucking job because they're not handling shit because he's still getting arrested. So, like, what are you getting paid to handle? Because you're not handling him. You know? He just got in trouble again recently. Like, he actually got arrested, I think it was a few months ago, for public intoxication. And while he was out waiting for his court date for public intoxication, he went out, got drunk again, went to rehab, got back out, went back to an inpatient, or well, he went to an outpatient program, got back out, because I think it was court ordered. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if he just decided he wanted to do it. I don't know what it is. But then he was just out, and this just happened within the last couple of weeks. He was out, and he ended up smacking another woman. Like, I get that he's got, like, a disability, and I understand that, but, like, that's really bad. Like, that's really bad. There's a chance. Yo, it don't matter if you got a disability. If you're a man and another man sees you smack a woman in public, there's a strong chance they're gonna fuck you up. Like, I'm just saying, there's a very strong chance that they're gonna fuck you up. So then he gets out, right? He gets bailed out of jail this time for smacking the second girl, right? And what do? They decided to take him to the gathering of the Juggalos, which you would never, you would never catch me at a gathering. That's horrible. God, it just seems like the most. I went to one ICP show in my life because my friend was really into them, and it was like the worst thing ever. Family, family, whoop whoop. She's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I mean, like it's like you hear one person in the distance start yelling family. I'm like, I can only imagine what it must be like to sit through 3 days of that. And they trashed the field. Well, so they took Josh Block to the gathering, right? And this dude, and this is a video, this dude, he's a real tall dude, like real, and Josh is not a big guy, right? And nobody knows that he has autism, so they don't necessarily know. So the first thing the handlers show every time somebody gets up in his face is, yeah, he has autism, you know what I mean? And that's what they, like, your handlers are not doing their job. Why does that thing keep popping on? It's distracting the fuck out of me. Mile from my house. Yeah, so he went to the gathering this last week, and he spit on a dude. And the dude chased him, and there's video of it, and fucked him up. He spit on somebody. Listen, I like to consider myself a nice, like, caring person. I understand people have disabilities. I understand that people don't have the same mental process. But I'm telling you this as a human. If a stranger walks up to me and spits on me, yeah. If somebody walks up to me in public and starts picking a fight with me and then spits on me, like, I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's gonna end well. Yeah, I'll feel bad afterwards and be like, oh, I'm sorry. Here, we can talk. You know what I mean? But guess what? I'm like, I don't like that shit. Like, don't spit in my face. I don't know what you got. I don't like your germs. Like, I didn't ask you to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but so this dude turned around. He's like, did you really just spit on me? And the dude's like, hold on. Like, the handler's trying to stop it because he knows what's getting ready to come. He did. He spit on him. He was like, as soon as he spit on him, he goes, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, so you have this person who is recklessly drunk, who is special needs, and you decide after they're having all this legal trouble that the place that you need to take them as their handler is to the gathering of the Juggalos. Like, somebody needs to start holding these handlers accountable for what they're doing because they're exploiting. They might think that they're doing it in good interest. Oh, well, I'm there to protect him because he's autistic or whatever. But what they're doing is instigating shit and then being there to record it instead of being there to keep him from getting into trouble. And it's absolutely ridiculous. That's not being a handler. These people are being paid to be a handler. And then they're doing things like saying, oh, you want to go to the gathering of the Juggalos? Let's go. Yeah, they know what they're doing. They absolutely, like the one, the dude, Mr. Beast or whatever, like, who was it? Mr. Bass, I think was his name. He was on like the podcast and that's how Josh got big. He did it like all the time. They would just exploit the shit out of him and then be like, oh, well, we're friends. Like, yeah, like we're friends. Like, nah, like, listen, like, and I said that's one of the things is somebody like you, like, the big difference with autism is they can't always, and this is me generalizing. There's a lot of people that have autism that have a hard time understanding when people are really their friends and when they're exploiting them. And this is kind of like a reoccurring thing. Oh, well, they say they're my friend, so they're my friend. Yeah, but they're exploiting you. You know what I mean? Like they're doing. Yeah, but they're my friend. No, they say they're your friend. See what's going on, honey? Like nothing they have done has shown that they're your friend. Like, when they're there recording instead of helping you, they're not your friend. Like I said, it's something that may be, yeah, trust your gut. Well, that's what I'm saying is I think a lot of people with autism don't necessarily have that gut instinct that says this person is not being genuine. People with autism, they tend, and this is just, like I said, my experience and all my years of being a special needs mom, like all this stuff, like, they're, and this, like I said, the difference between somebody with autism and without autism, people with autism seem to, and I said, keep in mind, once again, also, but like, they tend to be a little bit more literal with things. So when you say, listen, this person's not your friend, they're not your friend. Yeah, but he says he's my friend. Yeah, but just because he says he's your friend does not mean that he's your friend. Yeah, but he says he's my friend. Yeah, but he's not. He's making fun of you. No, he's not. He's helping me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the difference. Like, where you and me, could go, okay, maybe this person doesn't have the best intentions for me. But I said everybody's different, so every disability is different. But it's just, I don't watch any of this stuff with World T-shirts and like Josh Block. I'll catch like little clips of stuff on TikTok, but like, because it just like, it does, it hurts my heart. Like, honestly, it hurts my heart to see the way that people like are using him for use, and then they're taking him out. They're taking him out in places where they'll know that he'll be triggered, and they're feeding him tons of alcohol, taking him out into public where people know him, and they know all it's going to take is somebody coming up and yelling, put the fries in the bag, and this motherfucker's going to flip out. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you really give a shit, then you know what? If he's drinking, keep him home. Keep him home. Have him drink at home. You know what I mean? Because if he goes out in public, he's been arrested twice, been in rehab twice, slapped 2 different women, and just spit on somebody in the gathering within a 6-month period. Oh, and he got kicked out of Saudi Arabia. Okay? So, like, how about we just keep him home when he drinks, huh? You decided you were going to put him on a plane and send him to a country where drinking, I'm like, where drinking is illegal. And then everybody on the internet called and said, hey, Saudi Arabia, guess what? This dude's coming in and he's going to be drunk. So they kicked him back out, and they were sending him to Dubai, which is what, it's like a dry, I know Dubai's a country in India, but isn't it completely dry there? Like, alcohol is not, like, passed from it, I thought? No, yeah. So much his dad was, and I believe that. I believe that. Like I said, I get it, like, runs in families, like, all that stuff, but it's like, why do you put him on a plane to go to a dry country? Do you not realize that people can pass away from alcohol withdrawal? And you have somebody that's a blatant alcoholic. Like, he'll tell people, I'm an alcoholic, 100%. He's checked out of rehab twice. Oh yeah, in Dubai you can't have any form of public. So if somebody in Dubai seen him and said, hey, and he goes and attacks them, so now you're gonna have him in a fucking prison in a different country where he's gonna go through withdrawal in their jail cell. And other countries, they don't have to give you one phone call. Like, they don't have to do that stuff. That's something we do here. There are people that go to jail in other countries, but why send it? Like, I don't know. Like I said, I just feel like anybody that gets around him, they don't do it for good intentions, and I don't like that. Like, I can't watch it. I know in Dubai it's against the law to have any form of public, like, you can't yell at people. Even like if you're out and about and you're drinking, you can't yell. Well, he's pretty known for doing that too. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, imagine if he did at the gathering, what he did or did in Dubai, what he did at the gathering. Like, you're setting somebody up. You're taking somebody that has a disability and you're setting them up for failure so that you can sit back and record. Yeah, listen, it gets me all started on this shit. I get all fired up about it. Like I said, that's why I don't watch it, because I'm like, this is not my business. Just because I can't. Whatever. Okay, so okay, let's see. Do we all know who Ghislaine Maxwell is? This is the next one. I'm gonna move on from that one because I said I get all feisty when I talk about that. But yeah, she ended up that her ex-cellmate came forward, right? Like, she was with, the dude that had the island. She was pretty much like, we'll say his hoarder, like his herder, like herded the sheep towards him. And she was a really well-known socialite. Like, she was like his wing woman type thing, like where they had all this stuff go on together. And she's in jail now. He's passed away from, unaliving, apparently. I think somebody got a hold of him, because in jail they really don't like it when stuff involves children. Like, I'm just saying, like, you had a lot of really powerful people, like, that had a lot to lose from that scenario. But so she's still in jail. Her ex-cellmate came forward and said that, which I'll say this one, I don't think that they should in court take cellmates, because a lot of times people will give false confession. Like, they'll say, oh, we were in the cell together and she told me this, because they want to get something in return. So I don't think that they should take people in jail's words if, like what they talk about in their cell, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not How about this? Why don't we mic the cells? And then we have an actual recording of what somebody says rather than having a witness who came forward that gets extra ramen this week because they testified in this case. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of people that have been in jail and said, "Oh yeah, I went and I perjured myself just because I wanted like extra outdoor time or you know what I mean? Like but I'm like, why are we like okay, so wait, you have this person who unalived this person. They're coming to testify that this person unalived this person, but this person lied about unaliving the person that they unalived about, but you're going to believe them and take them as a witness to this other person. Like that don't make no fucking sense to me. Like that don't make no fucking sense. It's one thing if it's, but isn't that technically hearsay though too? Like you're saying what somebody else. Now, okay, I get it. Okay, gotta love the system. Yeah. How about this? Like we mic police stations. Why not mic jail cells? So that way, if they confess stuff to each other, you know about it. How about you mic them so that way, if there's substances coming in or out, you know about it. If there's other things going on, you know about it. I mean, it's a thought. It's a thought. It's a thought. Once again, like I said, this could have been something that what was it? It was $100 billion that was sent to Ukraine, right? So I think it was 178 billion to be specific. Alexa, how much money did the U.S. send to the Ukraine? Sorry, I don't have an answer for that. She don't have an answer for that. Alexa, how much money did the U.S. give the Ukraine last year? Sorry, I don't know. Yeah, it's something like 178 billion. It's up there. It's up there. It's online. But so her ex cellmate came out, right? For the guy who touched my. Oh my god, dude! I'm telling you, I would be in fucking jail. Like seriously, I would be fucking in jail. But so her ex cellmate came out and said that she had dirt on Trump and that she was going to try to negotiate a pardon for her. Listen. I tried, but it's a story. Yeah, like I believe it. If you listen, I believe that she did. I normally don't believe when cellmates say stuff. I think that this conversation might have not even happened. But everybody's seen the pictures from the 80s of the man who owned the island standing in social places arm in arm with Trump. We've all seen this. We've all heard the tapes of, back then, like once upon a time, it used to be really like flattering for women. At least that's what guys thought when they were overly creepy. Like, like if you watch have you guys ever watched the old game shows from like the 50s and like the 70s and shit? Yo, those game show guys were fucking creepers. They'd be like, so, do you want to be a beautiful wife one day? Yeah, I might be looking for one. Meanwhile, this chick's like, thank you, Ricky. Yeah, they were. They were fucking creepy as shit. Oh, well, you ever thought about dating a game show host? Sir, she's 21. You're 64. But everybody was just like, oh, all right. You look at this shit, even in X amount of time, how people of minorities have been treated differently. Like, you see the progress even in a century that we've made, like, even the way that women were treated. And the women just stand there, like, uncomfortable as shit. And they were supposed to, like, now I really think somebody would get a karate chop in the throat for that, being 65 and talking like, ooh. Speaking of which, did you guys say, okay. So, have you guys seen Softway Underbelly's video on YouTube? Because this is also in the weird news right today. I'm like, I gotta talk about all the stuff that I've seen like within the last few days. This dude, yeah, this dude has screamed creepy to me for years. Like, he's really big on YouTube. He does, for anybody that doesn't know, he does real life, intricate videos with people that are living on the streets, addicts, mentally ill, all this stuff, right? And he's always like, okay, so he had this one girl came, and she's beautiful. She's a beautiful girl, even with like her face tattoos and shit. Like, I'm not really big on face tattoos, but she's a beautiful girl. I forget what her name is, but she had like, he brought her on because she had like babies with her brother and shit. Like, it was a whole thing, right? And then she's like, like he just gave creeper type of vibe. Then he set up a GoFundMe for her, right? What are you talking about? Try to keep up. But so she ended up that like so he sent her rather than saying, okay, well here's what I'm gonna do. I got this GoFundMe going. Why do you set like listen? I am all for if somebody needs food, go buy them a sandwich and give them a sandwich. I'm not giving anybody any fucking money. I'm telling you this right now. I am not. If you walk up to me in person, a lot of people do this. I think it's because I look like I'm nice. I'm not. I promise. But I'll get people that walk up to me. Hey, do you think you could pay for my sandwich? Nope. Hey, you got $5? I got nope. You got $1? Nope. Got 25? Nope. I got nothing. I got nothing. Like I said, gifting online is one thing. I'm not going to gift anybody that's asking for this shit. Hey guys, can somebody send $20 to my Cash App? No. No. You can even, well, I'm not even going to say what they can do with it. But so this guy, he just got into the news again recently because he's normally behind the camera. He's 65 years old, right? Mark is 65 years old. And he's got like this blonde hair. Like he just, like, and he's like real tan. Like he looks like a Trump wannabe to me. Like, and get this, right? So his girlfriend just passed away within the past, I think it was like month or so, right? And he did this interview about it because he wanted to talk about it and bring awareness to it. She died of an OD, right? I'm sorry, she passed on from an OD. And he met her when she was 19 years old. She was getting ready to turn 21. And he said, well, she's an old spirit, and I've always been young at heart. And I went, wow, that sounds exactly like what everybody that grooms somebody would say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's grooming talk right there, if you ask me. Like, well, I'm young at heart. Sir, you are 65 years old. Why are you even talking romantically? And he admitted, oh, yeah, I've been dating her. I interviewed her mom, who was an addict years ago. And yeah, she just passed away. He's like, I didn't even know she was doing it. And then he goes on to talk about how he was paying all her bills and this and that. And I'm like, and how he found her and like all this stuff. And I'm like, does that not sound suspect to anybody else? Is it just me? Like that sounds so sus. Why are we making these people all famous? Like, why are these people getting a platform? The dude's like creepy. Like, I'm sorry, this is just my opinion. Dude's creepy. Like, that's what I'm saying. Dude's creepy. Like, if he was like, hey, what's up? I'd be like, so what color in the crayon box are you supposed to be? Because you got that orange Walmart tan going on. You good? Okay. Want to make sure it wasn't jaundice of the skin or something. Like, but like, listen, you're 65 years old and you're dating a 19-year-old. You realize it only became legal for you to date her within the last year. Like I said, dating a younger person is one thing. Being 65 and paying all the bills of a 19-year-old, that's some different shit. Like, that's some different shit. And then he's like, oh, I didn't know. Well, you keep giving these girls money that have drug issues. And then you're expecting different results. Why do you keep giving these people money? Stop giving them money. Stop giving them money. Stop putting GoFundMes up for the people that you're interviewing. You're already paying. I don't even think you should be paying them for an interview because you're giving them money that could be the last bit of money that they get, and then they go out and it's your fault because you gave them the money. Yes, technically it's their fault, but I'm just saying you're giving them the money that gives them food, give them whatever. Like, but why give people that are in an active addiction money knowing that they're in active addiction? You know what I mean? Like, that's my thought. And then not only that, but he gives these people thousands of dollars. People will donate to the GoFundMes for these people and give that. And then he'll just be like, oh yeah, we raised 10 grand. Here you go. Well, what happens when you send 10 grand to somebody that's in active addiction that is not used to having 10 grand in their pocket? How long do you think that's going to last? And then guess what? In a month, they're going to be in the same predicament that they were in the month before they had the 10 grand. Because guess what? They have the same issues that they're taking with them. So what good does giving them that money do besides possibly expedite their demise. Like that's just that. Like and like I said, this is just my opinion. Nobody has to agree with this shit. I don't expect anybody to agree with me. You know what I mean? Like I'm very upset too. It's not going to take a month. That's what I mean. Is like it's just it's expedite. I don't even think it would take a month. Like I'll be real. I don't even think it would take a month. They're going to go out and this. Oh well, they have kids. Well, yeah, but they ain't going to spend that money on their kids. You think they're going to go out and buy them new clothes and all this stuff? No, they're going to like listen. Like somebody can love their kids, but their substances can get in the way of that. Like I can blow through 10 grand in one day. I've done it. I did it this morning, but I'm very sad. Now, I say this stuff about younger people, but I will say this. Youngblood is 28 years old. I'm 45. I don't know. Like, listen. It's way too young for me. And it makes me feel like a creeper. It makes me feel like a creeper. I got a thing for him, okay? A big thing for him. I don't know why. He's not my type. I just think he's gorgeous. Like, I would feel weird if he flirted with me. At the same time, I'd be like, like, stop it, you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, down, girl. Like, yeah, I'm just saying. Like, like, but I would be like, this is 28. That's way too young for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's way too young for me. Like, and there's this group of women that are like around my age, and I think it's funny because they're calling them like the bloodline or something like that, which I think is pretty funny. It's BULD, and it's all like nice, and but like I just like I said, I have a thing for facial hair. I like facial hair. He doesn't have facial hair. I do have a thing for dad bod. He doesn't have dad bod. He's like wears like low rise jeans and stuff. Like I'm like he's got that much space between his belly button and his pants. I'm like, what are you fucking Christina Aguilera from the '90s? But it works for him. It works. He's got the eyeliner. It works for him. Like I'm like, oh, okay. I think I like him. He's very intelligent. I think that like intelligence is a very sexy thing, and that's like I'm like, okay, like he's got a lot of opinions about stuff. He's got a lot to say about stuff, and I find that very appealing. So I would say he comes off as an old soul, not old enough for me to be like, well, but that doesn't mean, that doesn't mean I would do anything. Like if he was like, yo, what's up? I'd be like, the fuck? Did somebody tell you I was rich or something? Like, what's it? But anyway, he got back with his girlfriend. Yeah, he would. No, because, like, listen, like, I worked with musicians for a long time, and even the local ones, everyone that I've ever met has been a dirty slut. Hey Eric, what's going on? And I don't know. I'm protective on who I allow in the front door. Like I am. I'm protective. Like I might be like, oh, that's flattering. Oh, this young guy, like but yeah, just ride with it. Like but like there are a lot of dudes, and I said this. See, like I said, with the turn ons, turn offs. Like I have my things that I like and I don't like. There's a lot of guys that will just hit on everybody. It's hard to take things personally when somebody just will flirt with every single person just to see who says yes. You know what I mean? Just to see who says yes. And musicians are pretty well known for this. Like I really don't want to have to I don't know. I'm just like ew, he's probably with somebody else the night before. I don't know where she's been. Maybe somebody else earlier in the day. Who knows? Like, big time musicians, they get it thrown at them like crazy. And I'm like, it's probably green. I don't want to go next. I don't care who he is. Like, if they're a hoe, it's like, I'm like, and I have a feeling he's definitely up there with being a hoe. I imagine he's probably a hoe. Like, he's 28. And he's him, and it looks the way he does. And I'm sure men, women, everything throw themselves at him. I have no doubt on this one. I have no doubt. I'm like he's like one of those people that looks good when they sweat. I don't think I look good when I sweat. Y'all have seen me play pool. I get warm when I play pool, especially when I'm drinking. Like I get warm. I'm not a sexy sweater. Like that's not. Some people can get away with it. He can get away with it. Shakira can get away with it. I can't get away with that shit. I'm like fucking eyebrows running down my face, looking like the crow with my eyeliner going and shit. Like. A sexy sweater. I want to know how long it takes him because he wears leather pants a lot on stage. And I understand that it's the aesthetic of the whole leather pants on stage thing. But when you've been on stage, I don't know if y'all have ever worn leather pants before, but hey, there's this, like, listen, you really can't wear underwear, especially when they're that low. So you know he ain't got no drawers on under that thing, right? Imagine this type of swampy mess he got to have going on in there, and that does not, like, he's probably gonna like tuck his balls back into place, like showered a week when I said, yeah. And then imagine you're on stage underneath those lights, which make you profusely sweat anyway, and then you have leather pants on, which are gonna make you sweat even more, and then you just have nothing but ball soup. Don't get all excited, say. Hi, what's good on Gemini? Don't get all excited, say. Oh, thank you, Gemini. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, okay, so then here's another one in the weird news. Okay, so Trump is considering it's, what just became legal, ball soup delicious. I knew you were going to say that. But he is considering to do a reclassification of cannabis. So, yeah, at this time, I would. Okay, so I heard this, right? So you know what I did that day that I heard this, and this was like maybe like I said, I've heard this within the last few weeks. I went on and I bought a whole bunch of stock. I bought a hi, what's going on, Sandra? I bought a whole bunch of stock. So what they're doing is they're going to make it to where it's not just for medical in each state. They're doing it as a federal reclassification, so it'll be legal in every state in the country. I think they should have done that like a long time ago. Like, no. He's making it easier to get. Like, there's some states that are still considering it only medicinally. You know what I mean? And then there's other states where it's fully legal, and there's other states where you have to have like a yeah. Most states are good with it now, but the thing is, it's so expensive. Like in my state, because we just legalized within the last couple of years, it's so expensive. So what they're doing is they're doing a reclassification, so that way they can sell it for cheaper too. Which means bigger volumes of it will be able to be bought, which is why I went on and bought a whole bunch of stocks. I'm like, oh, it's going to be cheaper. People are going to buy more of it. Like, makes sense, right? Like, makes sense. So, but he's trying to get it pushed to where it's across the board, so that way they can tax all of it, whether it be medicinal, recreational. It won't be going varying by state to state. It'll just be federal across the board for every state. So that's what he's pushing for, because he wants to get, which makes sense. He wants to get the taxes from it, so that way we can make up some of the deficit that we have as a nation. Which, like I said, if we had started doing this, if we taxed all of the rugs that are out there, you imagine the type of shit that we could have in this country. We have fucking, it would look like Oz, like, you know what I mean, like just gold roads everywhere, and I'll go get a few guys. Right, like I said, I didn't really get into it. Like I'd experimented throughout my life, just kind of like everybody else does. But like I really didn't get into it until like I got diagnosed with epilepsy, and I was like, well, I guess if I needed a reason, like, because it's supposed to be really beneficial with helping with that. Gorgeous. Oh, thank you, love to love. I appreciate you. Yeah, and then I said I deal with chronic pain, but I was never really into it before that. You tried it? Yeah, of course. I'm a regular gardener at this point. I do. My sister owns a farm, so like I'll go down like here and there, right? Yeah, I'll go down here and there. I do a lot of baking. So if you ever see like I do where I make special butter, and then I'll do like these things on here. I'll do things on here, and I normally title it Baked and Baking. I'm working on a cookbook that's specifically for specialty baking things, but I found that the baking helps a little bit more. Yeah, I'm down for it. I'm down for it. So I'll do it on here. I'm just like, now we're gonna get some, because I can't really say. So I'm like, special butter. People are probably like looking in their grocery like, special butter. What the fuck? Like margarine? That's not special. But I would like I said, throughout my life I would go through like little points. Like I'd be like, okay, for like a couple weeks here and there. Like I really never got like, no, I don't. But so I just like I really didn't get into it until within, like I said, I only got diagnosed with my epilepsy. It was like 2.5 years ago, and then I was like, okay, well, it's something that can help. Let's give it a shot. And then I kind of got. I think there's a point where it doesn't do like what it did originally for you, and then that's where it kind of helps. You know what I mean? So I said, I go down to my sister's she owns like this big ass farm and shit, and I'll help her like and then bring it back. So it's a family business. It's a family business. All right, guys. So I'm gonna get ready to jump off here. I gotta get ready and go work for a little bit. I appreciate you all stopping by to see me. Make sure to come by and see me again. I hope you guys all have a beautiful day. I'm gonna figure out how to. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this little box. Have you guys been seeing this on my live stream? Look at that filter. I don't even have a filter on. No, okay. But like this little box keeps popping up. It's like 15, 14, 13. Say hi, heart. I don't know what that is, but like, yeah, I'll be back today, guys. I appreciate y'all stopping by to see me. Come by and see me again. I will be back a little later on, y'all. You guys kick a lot of ass, and I appreciate that. Make sure to follow my YouTube.